touch on it, but I know nothing's off limits, and you said nothing is off limits. So I wanted to get your take on it based off what we saw and anything that you may know on the outside. Fabolous in his domestic violence case right now.
I don't really know too much about it because they're not really talking about it. So
you saw the video though.
Yeah, I saw the video, but I'm just saying people in his camp, they definitely not talking, and she's not talking. She went nuclear on her page, so ain't nobody's really talking about it. So it's no real information, I guess. Only the TMZ story.
So what do you think about the video, though? What do you think about the video?
The video is alarming in a couple ways because he had a knife.
He had a knife?
Yeah, he had a knife in his hand.
I didn't know that was a knife. Okay.
Yeah, what? Go back and look at it. He had a knife in his hand, and the part about it is, for me, that I say is troubling is that what did he expect her father to do? Like, her father was protecting his daughter. He has 2 sons, and she has a daughter. So if the little girl that lives with him, that's her daughter, was placed in that situation, his job, he's obligated to do the same thing her father did. Like, fathers love their daughters. They're supposed to protect their daughters.
So based off what you saw in the video, was Fab wrong? Even everything that you just said, I see what you're saying with the kids and all that.
I can't say he's wrong because I don't know the details or the origin of the problem. So I don't know. I mean, what I'm saying, why I feel he's wrong as far as feeling like, why is her father there? That he's wrong for even thinking that. But as far as what is he's wrong about the situation, I don't know, because I don't know what happened. But it's still, domestic violence is not cool, and he shouldn't have had a knife, and he shouldn't have put his hands on her. So he's wrong to that extent, if that is true.
See that? I mean, it's a big conversation right now, and Whoopi Goldberg has been on record to say that a lot of us are saying that there's never a reason to hit a woman, or there's never a reason to bring violence to a woman. However, Whoopi Goldberg feels that if a woman hits you, you have the right as a man to actually hit a woman back. Now, some men say that it ain't no reason to ever, even if the woman hits you, there's no reason. But something's not right with that situation, and I don't know Fab personally.
What do you feel is not right about it? Because maybe then we could elaborate off of it, because, like, at the end of the day, I'm looking at it from a different prism, and you looking at it from a different prism.
You talking about the video. What do I feel that?
What do you feel is wrong with the whole situation as a whole?
I feel that there's I feel more than likely that she was baiting him, and she's using the victim. She could potentially be using the victim role because she knows that most women get the benefit of the doubt. Now, again, I just know Fab's persona. I don't know him personally, but he seems like a pretty cool dude.
Now, what you're saying, I get totally what you're saying, and you could be 100% right. But here's the situation with that. In that situation, and in him being fabulous, meaning like he's a star, he's been around people like gold diggers and grimy people, and he's always at when you at that stature, you're always at a alert for everything. So that means he should be aware of her trying to put him in that situation. So in essence, even if a woman is trying to bait you, even if it's your woman, you got to walk away.
You've never been in a situation like that?
I think all men have been in a situation like that. I'm not going to talk my personal life as far as nothing's off limits, but my wife is not here to sit and talk with me, so I wouldn't try to have a conversation about, us with that situation. But the thing is, every man, I've got baited before. Every man has gotten baited. You know, every man has a past. Every man probably made mistakes, but at the end of the day, it's what you learn from it. Now, if this was his first time and they just going through this, then this is something that he has to learn from. You see what I'm saying?
I heard he knocked 2 of her teeth out. That's still allegedly. We don't know.
Right.
But we do have to. There has to be some type of parameters. We're gonna have to, as a society, create some type.
Oh no, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. I'm never going to sit here and say that is acceptable. No, I said he should be aware of her trying to bait him, and he should have walked away. He had security there. He had a car there. He could have got his security, got in his car, and calmed down, and then spoke on it at a later time when cooler heads prevail. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay. In those situations, if you're being baited, you have to walk away, especially if it's someone that you know and love and trust.
Okay, so it sounds like you are aware that there are some females that are doing this.
Of course there is. I'm not giving her the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. The situation is, he was caught on camera with a knife making threats. So it looks bad for him. She can play the victim role because he put her in the victim role. Baited or not. The optics is what they, how they say, 90% of reality is perception. So we see it's telling us a story. You get what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what people are going to go off of. You could be right. She could have did something wrong, and she could have baited him and have everyone against him, and she could have been actually the culprit. But that's not what the optics show.
Yeah, that's like with the Chris Brown situation and Rihanna. I hate to go back, but with Chris Brown and Rihanna, a lot of people were saying, like, what did she do? And then, but then people don't want to have the conversation. They're like, well, some people will say, well, it doesn't matter what she did because he shouldn't have done that. He
still should have got out the car.
So you don't care what she did. So
listen to me. Listen to me. I'm a 42-year-old grown man, right? Mm-hmm. With a wife and with 2 daughters. My conversation about that is going to be totally different from a younger person's conversation and a person that probably have never been through situations like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I've seen domestic violence. I know about domestic violence. So at my age, there's no way in the world I can promote to the world on our platform that it's okay to hit a woman.
So can you educate us from your standpoint about domestic violence?
Okay. And in a situation...
Men and women, please.
Okay. For a man, because I'm a man, right? So for a man, you have to be strong enough to walk away. Like, if you feel like you're being baited, if your conversation is leading towards violent thoughts or behavior, you have to walk away. Like, walk away is the biggest thing, or you have to be quiet until cooler heads prevail. There's never a good outcome when you start hitting a woman.
Okay, so let me just, I know you're going to finish, but okay, so there's somebody going to be listening to this, and they're like, they hear that all the time. You got to walk away. You got to walk away. Right, but she's chasing him. Let's say she's chasing him and not letting him walk away.
But then she's committing domestic violence. Domestic violence is not only a man hitting a woman, it's a woman hitting a man too. Now, you have to be cognizant of, once you hit her, she's automatically the victim. You might have to call the police and get her off of you. Because at the end of the day, it's a different narrative once you hit her. She can hit the man, the cops will come and they'll restrain her and let you walk away, and let you go about your business. But if you hit her and the cops come, you're leaving in handcuffs. So you have to be cognizant of that. And the same thing goes for women. If you're having a conversation and it's getting to be violent, or the thoughts of being violent, or you feel like a man is about to get violent with you, you have to learn, women have to learn how to be quiet and walk away too, or be quiet and don't provoke. I'm not saying provoking, you should get hit, but if you know provoking is about to lead to you getting hit, you need to be quiet. See, it's two sides to every story. Actually, three. Yours, hers, and the truth. And everybody always tells the story to navigate to their side. You're not going to get up in court and testify and say you're wrong. You're going to say you're right. You're going to create a story to make it look like you're right. So you understand what I'm trying to say?
Uh-huh.
So in domestic violence as a whole, we have to learn how to suppress that thinking and that feeling and walk away. Because if you are that mad at your significant other, right, and you feel like that's what you need to do, and then you do it, only worse things are coming down the pike. But if you walk away, go have a drink, go sit down, go think, go talk to a close friend, and cooler has prevailed, and then y'all come back and y'all both thought on the things that y'all thought was wrong, the conversation is going to be different, and then that's how problems get solved. You see, we have to learn how to communicate without violence. It's like we cannot listen to have a rebuttal. We have to listen to understand. You see, when you with a female and you're telling her how you feel, and then she's just waiting till you finish, and then disregarding everything you say and just saying, but this, that, and the third. That's how stuff like that leads to, because, and same thing for the man. Listen to the woman and hear what she's saying and process it, instead of just listening to have another answer. Because now everything that person said to you, you having no respect for. These are all the things that leads up to domestic violence. Usually it starts with a conversation, turns into an argument, then it turns violent. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So if we stop it at the first level, which is a conversation, that's where you have to stop domestic violence at. We have to learn how to conversate without getting angry. And then even if you get angry, you have to have the tools of what to do when you get angry, so it won't go to level 3, which is violence.
And you said one of the tools is walk away.
Walk away.
Get away, go get a drink, go have
get something to calm yourself down, and then think about what the other person was saying to you. Like, think about the conversation. Don't think about the argument, because the argument is the second level. When you're thinking about this and you're alone or you're talking to somebody, reflect on the conversation.
Not the argument.
Right. How did the conversation get to the argument? So now if you're reflecting on all of that, that's where the answer lies. The answer always lies in the conversation. The argument starts when there's a disagreement in the conversation. You get what I'm saying? Makes sense to you?
Yeah, it really does. So if, let's say it does, you said, so level 2 is the argument, right?
Yes.
So let's say it's at level 2, they're at this argument stage.
Mm-hmm.
You said you got to go walk away, but let's say that the level 2.
Arguments are a part of our everyday life, especially in relationships. So if the argument could stay in the realm of an argument to where it could get back down to level 1, you don't have to walk away. When you have to walk away is when it's getting to level 3. You see what I'm saying? You know when that's about to come because the thought process starts. You see what I'm saying?
So there's three. I don't think most people know that. You're saying there's 3 levels
that leads to domestic violence. Yes. The third level is the actual domestic violence. But like I said, there's a conversation. Then when you're not hearing the conversation or you're disregarding another person's feelings, then it turns into an argument. Now the argument happens because now they're trying to like forcefully make you understand. You see what I'm saying? So now when that doesn't work, the thoughts become violent. And now it's if you act on it, now we have the police, we have a case, we have order of protection, we have all these things that it started from a conversation. So if you learned how to conversate better and use the tools of conversating, you would never get to level 3. You might get to level 2. But once you get to level 2 and you understand there's an argument, now once you're at argument stage, that's where compromise come in meaning. And what I mean by compromise mean listening. Compromise what you're trying to get across and just listen now. So now once you start to listen, you're going back down to level 1 because now it's turning back into a conversation because there's not that much yelling going on. And now it's more listening than over talking. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's also, we stay on this domestic violence thing just for another moment. So there's 2 types of domestic violence from, let's say from a man's perspective. It's like, there's men out there that are actually, he comes home from work, he opens up the door and he had a bad day and he's just going in there. No, she didn't say nothing. He's just going at her for no reason.
No, that man, that woman has to get out that relationship. If you're right, there is different types of domestic violence, right? But that beyond insanity.
You're saying she needs.
Yeah, that's a total wash. You need to go. Because you're just being abused for no reason and he has mental problems. So now that's a whole nother chapter in domestic violence where this person needs help.
And she can't help him.
She can't help him.
Yeah.
So once you can't help your spouse, then y'all no good for each other anymore. That's kind of more than domestic violence. That's just plain violence. That's just abuse on a whole nother level. It's only labeled as domestic violence because y'all live together, but that's actually that's like torture.
And she's taken. I used to date this young lady several years back, and I remember she was telling me that she was going through this domestic violence, and her boyfriend at the time was that dude that just would come in and just beat her down. And I would ask her, like, yo, why do you stay? Mm-hmm. She told me, she said, well, after he does it, he gives her money, like $100 to go to Walmart to buy whatever she wants. Well, so now it may not be Walmart, but it could be a Louis bag. He may give her a couple $1,000s to go to the Louis store after.
Right.
What do you think about that for the female in particular?
That's a woman that's dependent on a man. So when a woman is dependent on a man, she has to take whatever he gives her. Violence, money, whatever. And that's not the natural progression of life. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Any man that wants a woman to be like his slave then he doesn't want a woman. He wants a slave. Like, you should want your woman to have degrees. You should want your woman to be self-sufficient and able to handle things that if you're not there, she can handle on her own. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what if she's saying T-Money, but you don't know, he's not really like that. He just has it tough at the job and...
Well, then she has a glut for punishment. She wants to be there. You understand what I'm saying?
But he doesn't have anybody. You know, she said T-Money, but he don't have nobody in his family.
If he,
I gotta be here for him.
Listen, there is no excuse for torment. If once you at that level of violence, domestic violence, once you're at that level, you have to go. Because even if he didn't have nobody, then he should cherish you in that order. And then that wouldn't be happening to you. You see what I'm saying?
I never thought about it like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Because if he don't got nobody, you a good one, he should cherish you. That I like that. Yeah.
Exactly. If you don't have nobody and you all that I have, then I have to treat you like that. Like you're all I have. Why would I want to destroy the only good thing that I have? That means when I have a hard day of work, I'm coming home and I'm letting you know, baby, my day was just awful. You see the difference in between? Why would I take out my day on you when you're supposed to be my solace? You're supposed to make me come home and forget about that day. So that's why I say there is no excuse. There's no excuse.
What if he does it once? What if he does it once? And
I mean, mistakes.
And he says, I can get help. He says, I want to go get help.
Then let him get help. If you love him that much and he's worth it, then you let him get help. That's why they put erasers on pencils. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm not sitting here saying a man is perfect and he shouldn't be allowed a second chance. I'm not that guy that's going to sit and say that. People do need help and people do need to be corrected, and sometimes
there should be a sign of progression. There should be
yes. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with sticking by a man and trying to get him help and all that, but like I said, it has to be a progression there, and it has to be some sign of change. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
It happens. It happens to, let me explain something to you. There's people in your family, there's people that's your friends, there's people in your workplace that's going through this. This is not taboo. This is actually a real situation. It's just the fact that you have to want to get help, or you have to want to do better. Yes, it's times where men are stressed out and they don't know where to turn and they take it out on the woman. It's a lot of things. It's a difficult subject. And no one person has all the answers, because every day there's a new situation. So that's the thing with that is you have to be cognizant of reality. Like, this is the reality of the situation and I want to do better. At the end of the day, I tell people this all the time, and this is just the real short version. If you do the right thing, the right things will be done to you. You understand what I'm saying? So in that situation, you just have to do the right thing. And whatever the right thing is for the moment. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, so let me ask you this. Do you, because you did clarify that there needs to be a sign of some type of, some change. There needs to be a sign of change. But why do you feel that women who are going to be listening to this right now, according to the numbers, there's some women that are going to be listening to this right now that they just got their ass whipped last night, if not today. And it happened again last week, and it happened the week before. Why do you feel that they continuously stay? Is it because they're not hearing these type of conversations? And like you just said, this is happening more than we talk about. Yes.
Sometimes a woman is trapped. She don't have her own job. She don't have her own money. She's stuck in that relationship. Don't mind me, I'm cooking.
What you cooking?
I'm making some baked turkey wings, collard greens, and potato salad.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
you using a recipe, or is this a T-Money special?
I don't use recipes.
Okay.
But see, this is what I'm trying to tell you. You have to for the women that's in those situations, they are sometimes codependent on the man, like the man that pays for everything, does everything. So they can't leave because they don't have nowhere else to go. Or the kids. In relationships that has years on it and stuff, it's not just easy to get up and go. So that's the thing though. But now here's the flip side to that. If the guy that's coming in the house beating his woman, that she's so dependent on him, right? Maybe they would have a better relationship if she did work and had her own life. Because now they have other things to talk about, and she's just not there all the time.
Oh, only receiving, yeah.
Yes. And then sometimes a person could be so fed up with something that they're giving off these negative vibes that they don't even know. And it creates that type of situation in the household. You get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
If a woman is not happy, she's going to have this vibe to her that she doesn't even know that she's giving off, and the man is going to pick up on it. You get what I'm saying? Uh-huh. And then if a man feels like, oh, I'm doing everything, and she's giving me these negative vibes, that creates a controversy, which in turn doesn't mean she's supposed to get beat. I'm not saying that. I'm saying these are certain little nuances that goes on in the house that if a woman worked to or had her own and did other things, she didn't have to depend on him, and maybe it's an energy that's different in the house. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's all types of things. It's not one thing. It's nothing you could just pinpoint because everybody live a different life. But at the end of the day, like I said, you have to have the tools to walk away. But it should never get to that point, especially at an older age when you know better. Younger people, they might have to be taught this, and I understand that. But when you're at a certain age, it should really be at conversation, argument, back down to conversation. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the reality of it. And that's not something, I actually just thought about that while me and you were talking. That's not even something that I've even thought of before. Being asked the question, that's what I thought of. Which I think makes sense.
Because this, I also think that it can be embarrassing too. Maybe that's why. Because I was watching that documentary. I'm pretty sure you saw it, the 30 for 30 on Broke, and it was talking about. You seen it before? Broke.
Which one? On who?
Broke.
I haven't seen it. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Okay, so they was talking about how all these athletes, they usually go broke about 4 to 6.
I seen that. Okay. Broke.
Yeah. So, but they was explaining how a lot of this wouldn't happen to most of these athletes if they had the courage to talk about it amongst everybody, but they feel so macho they don't want to tell their friends and their other athletes like, yo, I just got beat out of $5 million. So they don't say nothing. So I can also see that some of these women, it could be tough if they don't have that outlet because they feel embarrassed. They don't want to tell their mom that they getting beat. They don't want to tell their sister. They don't want to tell their brother that they getting beat. So it's also a sense of embarrassment that could be going on as well. Yes,
women have a complex of showing the world that they're in a successful relationship. A lot of women have that complex, meaning that they will have this perception that they're living well at home. You understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
They want that narrative to be out there because at the end of the day, they could be envious of another woman that actually has that. See, you got to understand something about women. They're very territorial and they're very envious people.
True.
See, women have that tendency about them. So at the end of the day, we have to be mindful of who we're talking about. So yes, it's an embarrassment thing. Of course it is. But it's also a thing of perception. They don't want to be perceived as their man is beating them and they're going through this. You see? But
yeah, I never thought about that side of it. But that could be more true than it's embarrassing.
Exactly. It is. But the thing about it is this. If you're suffering like that, you have to get out. You have to get out. That's the bottom line. If it's a situation where you're just like actually really the victim, then you have to get out because sooner or later that could lead to death. You see what I'm saying?
Like OJ.
Yes. And another thing about the situation that's kind of bad is this, which a lot of women don't understand. What precedent are you setting for your children?
In most cases, the children don't know, right?
No, the children do know.
Why you say the children know?
You think that the children don't know their mother's getting her butt whipped? Are you crazy? They hear it. They hear the arguments. That doesn't just happen when the children are not home.
Ah, wow. See, now that's a whole nother... You just opened up a whole nother level.
Yes. Now, I'm going to give you a prime example how it starts young, right? Last week, Easter was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, yep.
Okay. 2 weeks ago for Easter, I took my daughter and one of my neighbors to an Easter egg hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter was online to get her face painted. She was the first person online. We was waiting for about 15 minutes, but I was like in the background talking to the actual people who threw the cookout.
Mm-hmm. So
this lady with two boys walks up to the front of the line and tells her sons to skip my daughters.
Wow.
So I walked up to her. I said, "Excuse me, miss, are you serious?" She's like, "What do you say? Why did you skip my daughter? Why did you tell your sons to skip my daughter? She was here first and she was waiting for 15 minutes. So she had the stupid face. She was like, oh, sorry. I said, no, there's no sorry. And I said, number one, forget all of that. Why are you teaching young boys to be disrespectful to women at this young age? I said, you're teaching them that now. When they get older, they ain't going to have no respect for women. What happened to ladies first? And you're a lady. She was so dumbfounded, she just took the boys and left. And all the women was looking at me like they couldn't even believe that I even came up with that. And they started clapping and was smiling. I said, no, I don't want no accolades. Those are two little boys that she's going to raise that's going to hit women. So that's how it starts. When you do stuff like that in front of your children. See, for little girls, you're teaching them to accept that. And for little boys, you're teaching them to do it. You see what I'm saying? A lot of little boys think that that's cool because they seen their father do it, and their mother didn't. Their mother didn't leave, so they think that it's acceptable.
All right, I don't want that thought to leave me, at least, in case anybody else has that. But so you're saying in that, what happened to you and your daughter on Easter Sunday? You're saying, yeah, it was important for you to show a lesson, like. You gave the boys something, whether they wanted it or not, but you're saying that if you didn't do that, your daughter would have had a perception, or you're saying your daughter would have been in an understanding that was okay for a boy to do that. Wow.
Exactly. And I'm not going to show her that.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? 2 lessons. She saw that my father's going to protect me. And she saw it too, don't let no man run over me. You see what I'm saying? But it was for the little boys though, and they heard me, and I said that. I said y'all don't do that to girls. I specifically made sure I told them that, cause I'm like.
On top of that, on top of her being a female, she was also that they cut her in line.
They cut her in. That's what I was saying. She was teaching them to be disrespectful.
That's crazy. And
I'm like, and I asked, I said, why are you teaching these young boys that at this age? That's not cool. That's what I told her.
Yeah, she did teach them too. It's not like they just did it.
No,
that is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So she couldn't say nothing because I put her right on the spot, and she had to go home thinking like, damn, this guy really put me under the knife. Like. I was really like, how dare you? And then you are a woman and you're going to do that to a little girl? Like, the nerve of you. Like, and I'm like, you don't teach boys that age because this is how these young men are growing up hitting women. Their mothers are showing them something that they're not supposed to see. Again, like I said, if a woman stays, she's showing her son that it's okay to do it. And then she's showing her daughter to accept it. If she goes, they see, oh, my mother didn't take that. So now they know something is wrong. If a man does it and his son is watching him and his mother leaves, then he knows, oh, he watched his father lose his mother. So now he might have an understanding of, oh, that's not the right thing to do. And then if a man does it to the wife and his daughter sees it and the wife leaves, she knows, oh, I'm not supposed to let a man hit me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, more than ever I do.
So this is why leaving is so important if it can't be worked out. If the guy doesn't want to get help. And it's a limit on that too.
Okay, so I got one more thing on this domestic violence, but then I want to talk to you a little bit about Attorney Benjamin Crump.
Yeah.
So there is a small percentage. It's a size enough for us to be talking about it and people to be experiencing it. There's men that are also getting beat by women.
Yeah.
Is the same thing that you're saying for the women this same true for the men, or do you have something different for the men that are going through abuse?
What do you mean? Like, elaborate on exactly what you're saying.
There's women.
Yes, I understand that part.
There's two people in a relationship, a woman and a man, and
no, I'm saying. Okay, you're saying should those same rules apply to the man?
Right. Should the same rules apply to the man? Everything that you've already said, does that same thing, they got to get out, they need to get out, all of that stuff apply to the man? If the man likes it, I have to look at it like he must like that. Because, I mean, for a woman to actually overpower a man is kind of hard. So for him, some men like women like that. So sometimes the man stays because that's what he actually wants. So if he likes it, that's a different thing. You know, if he doesn't like it and he's really don't want to hit the woman and he's scared and all that, he either has to get help, same thing like the woman, or he has to go and find another woman. You know, normally when a man is in a domestic violence situation, he likes it. To be honest. And I'm not laughing at them because there is some that doesn't like it and go through it. But it's the same rules apply. We all human beings at the end of the day. The same rules apply. They have to get to a point where they could conversate. It has to be more conversation and less violence. Because you're going to argue. I don't care who you are. In any relationship, you're going to argue. You have to learn how to argue and get back to communication. Okay, so now you just said the argue thing again. So let's go back to the Fabolous situation because there were kids there and a lot of people had an uproar because the kids were crying and they had to see all of that. So is it also, I mean, we obviously know you shouldn't be beating anyone, period. You don't put your hands on anyone. That's clear. But you should also, should you argue in front, how do you feel about arguing in front of your children?
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. Sometimes it happens, and that's when you have to refrain.
Not sometimes, though. I'm talking about there's people out there that this is a normal thing. They're just
they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. That's not good. That's not good. Even if it doesn't become violent, you shouldn't argue around the kid because you know what? Sometimes whoever is wrong, the kid could choose a side, and that's really not the place of a child. You see what I'm saying?
But you can conversate, which was level 1. It's okay to conversate in front of
I don't think none of that type of situation should be conversated. I think only in front of a child should be the family structure. Like, you know, the good things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, that's the perception you want to show the children. You know?
And like you said, sometimes you may have a conversation that you shouldn't. Sometimes you can have an argument, but you're saying that it shouldn't be, none of that should be in front of the children.
No, none of it should. It really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. It should be normally, it should be like, y'all go to your room. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. The children should not see any type of dissension in the relationship.
Now, you know that's big right there, what you just said. Because you know that a lot of people don't understand that. There's a lot of people in relationships right now that are conversating, they're arguing, and you opened up a can of beans talking about people is getting beat in front of their children.
Right. They are.
They don't know this. I see that happen all the time.
That comes from our culture where a lot of men and women are being raised in a single parent home, in a dysfunctional home, in a drug-riddled home. So at the end of the day, they don't have the tools to succeed in real life because they wasn't taught that. Children are only the child that their mother raised. You see what I'm saying? Or their father raised. So your values go back to what you was taught as a child. So it all depends on, you know, what type of home you was raised in. You know, like children that's raised in a fixed home have a better chance of dealing with those situations than the children that was raised in a broken home. Because they got to see two parents and they got to see two parents co-parent on a nuclear level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's different. It's different. That's why I'm pro fixed family. I really don't like broken families. I feel like you're doing the child a disservice.
Okay.
You know? So
I want to talk to you about attorney Benjamin Crump, but
we can talk. I got some issues on him.
you got issues with him?
Yeah, I know about him. You know, I stay current.
Oh, all right. So I feel that I'm not saying that police officers are not the ones we need to hold to accountability. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that something is missing because he's getting all of these cases, right? Mm-hmm. But we're coming out of a lot of these cases in the Black community with no justice.
Right.
And I know we need to look at the judge. I know we need to look at the jurors. I know we need to look in the courtroom and all of that. But something with this dude is not right because he's at the forefront of a lot of these cases. I'm not trying to disrespect him, but I am trying to say that I need some answers on what this dude is doing. What's
the name of our show?
Nothing's Off Limits.
Okay, so now we're gonna get off limits with this guy.
Okay.
For me, right? Because we are in the opinion-based business, right? This is an opinion-based business that we're in. So I'm going to give my opinion.
Okay.
My opinion on Benjamin Crump is he is an opportunist and he's taking advantage of the situation that the Black community is in. And since he has a platform to take advantage of it, he's taking full advantage of it. So what I'm saying is, what I mean by he's an opportunist is he's capitalizing off of the pain that we're enduring with the police, with the families that they're going through, losing children, getting killed in the street and all of that. He is a lawyer. So therefore, he's in it for business. This is about money with him at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, none of this is pro bono.
But why do we keep going to him? Like
Because
Stephen Clark's family.
He again capitalized off of it. He's a capitalist. He started promoting his brand to cater to that. He started having commercials. He actually put dollars into promoting the being the lawyer in the face of the Black people that's being shot in the street or being hurt by the cops. So what I mean by him capitalizing off of it is he took it to another level that other lawyers isn't doing.
Yeah.
See what he's promoting.
I didn't know that. I never thought about that.
You never saw the commercial?
No, I didn't.
I'll send it to you. He has a commercial.
For the attorney?
Yes, I was the lawyer for Trayvon Martin.
No, he don't. No,
yes,
he don't. No,
yes, he does.
It was for Trayvon Martin.
He said he was the lawyer for Trayvon Martin. He was the lawyer for the other guy that got killed by the police. And he says, you know, he's promoting it. So that's what I mean by he's capitalizing off it. So if you're in every African-American's, if you're on every African-American's television saying, I'm the lawyer for justice, they're going to call you when something happens because they thinking you're big. See?
You just messed up my whole philosophy then.
Okay, but the thing is this.
That's terrible.
Back in the days, right? Remember it was Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Martin Luther King.
But they weren't attorneys though.
No, I'm just trying to make a point.
Okay.
Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. There was an abundance of leaders. Now, if he's the only so-called lawyer for justice, that's how he's getting all these cases. A lot of lawyers Black lawyers are actually scared to fight the system because once they lose, they don't want that name on their resume.
But he's like, forget how many I lost. Let me drop these names on you. You know,
yes, and
right?
He's getting more
familiarity. Yeah.
Yes, he's capitalizing off of it. He's saying, I'm the lawyer that ain't scared to fight the system.
Wow.
But if you really look at his business only works now if Black people get killed.
Yeah.
That's what he put himself into. So
he's terrible too.
Huh?
He's terrible at what he does.
Yes, he doesn't win.
But it don't matter based on if you're saying he's about capitalism, like you believe he's capitalizing off it. It don't matter if he's losing. He's not gonna make this money because you're gonna call me because I'm that face that you know when somebody Black dies.
Bingo. It's something called billable hours.
What is it called?
Billable hours. You know what billable hours is, right?
I know what billable is and I know what hours is, but exactly. I haven't put the. Right.
That's what lawyers charge you, billable hours. So how many hours they work on the case, that's how they charge you. So for those big type of cases, you get a lot of billable hours. So for him, he's capitalizing because if he got 5 cases running, he got a lot of business.
So when you was talking to us back before, you was talking about the importance of us having more black, us encouraging our children to be lawyers and attorneys.
Yes.
This is what you're talking about.
Exactly.
There needs to be more civil rights attorneys out there.
There you go. You see how we could tie 2 different conversations back into one?
Damn.
See, this is why when you listen to us, right?
He monopolized unarmed black men getting killed.
And that's what I meant. That's what I meant by he capitalized off of it. That's what I say. When a person, right, say for someone who's listening to me and you talk right now today, they will have to go back to other conversations we had, and then they will understand more of our dynamic. Like, wow, these 2 guys really could pull juice out of a rock. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, because like how you just said, we had a conversation a few podcasts ago about not just having athletes and rappers and musicians for our children. And
see, you're smart, because I'm thinking this dude, I'm trying to figure out ways to help him. Like, because I'm just thinking he's terrible, like, at his job. Because I was saying, like, yo, why doesn't he try a different method? Like, I'm thinking, like, yo, Johnny Cochran, like, this dude has video footage. Like, video footage. Someone like Johnny, you got to bring entertainment into the courtroom. He got to make it a big deal. Like, I follow all of these cases, but I don't watch them on TV. He got to be like, he got to bring some type of entertainment, some showmanship.
He's not a good lawyer. So for him,
that's crazy.
So for him to get cases, he's capitalizing off of the pain of the black.
He don't care to get better, is what you saying.
No, his business is us getting killed in the street. That's what he made his business off of.
Yeah.
So if no more black men get killed in the street, he has no more cases. That's why you should never be the king lawyer for that. And now I'm going to go a little bit deeper. He is this guy that used to be the bodyguard for Puffy called Gene Deal. Gene Deal has an issue with him because they was trying to do some business together. Then he put out a video making Gene Deal look bad. And then when Gene Deal confronted him at a conference, he was into something totally different. Mm-hmm. So you understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Benjamin Crump is not doing all of this for free, which he shouldn't. That's his profession. But when you're in the profession of black men dying, now that's your claim to fame. That's what you're making money off of. So if black men...
Wait, let me ask you this, because you brought up Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton.
Uh-huh.
Were they getting paid for that back then, when they was doing their thing back then?
They were reverend, so they probably got paid from their church. And I'm pretty sure they got paid to speak. But at the end of the day, it's all business. This is what I'm trying to tell you. All of this stuff, these people, it's business orientated.
Yo, that's really terrible. That you just made me I had a whole different thought of Benjamin Crump. And now that shit all makes sense, yo. That's terrible. That's a terrible way to make a living.
Exactly. So you got to understand one thing, right? He's probably living in a nice house, driving a nice car. So for him to maintain that, he's secretly saying, another black man got to get killed so I can make some more money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you have to for you to get the trust of the people, you have to portray it differently, like you care, like you trying to.
Oh, yo, you just made me so angry, yo. Yeah, that's freaking nuts.
You know, and I'm not trying to tear them down, but
yeah, you're just saying what it is. Yeah.
Nothing's off limits, and I'm gonna tell you my opinion of them. All
right, so what about you? Do you go to Starbucks?
No, I don't drink coffee. I'm a tea guy.
Starbucks got tea.
Yeah, but I like to make my own tea in the morning. If you follow my Instagram, I make tea every morning. You probably don't be up that early, but I always got different kinds of teas and stuff. I'm a tea guy. I like a lot of different kind of teas.
All right, what's the tea that we need to know about? I do want to, because I want to ask you about this whole thing that's going on with Starbucks right now with those two black guys. But what type of tea should we be?
I like Tao lavender tea. I like passion tea. I like chamomile. I like all kinds of teas. It just depends on the mood I'm in the morning.
Okay,
Peppermint tea. You know, I don't really like green and black tea.
You don't like green tea?
No.
Oh man.
Yeah. Now the Starbucks thing, I'm not aware of that, so really? I'm gonna have to go do some research, and we'll touch on that another time. Or maybe next week, because I don't know, so I can't give an opinion.
I mean, I can update you on it.
Yeah, sure. Tell me.
All right, so yeah, the Starbucks situation is two black guys, they're real estate brokers.
You talking about when they went and sat in Starbucks?
Yeah, in Philly.
And they just were sitting there and they didn't order nothing, and they called the police to get them out of there.
And they got
arrested. I do know about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they got arrested, and there's this big uproar now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so the reason why I asked you if you ever been to Starbucks, because that is the culture in Starbucks. Like, I don't go to Starbucks because they have great coffee. I go because of the atmosphere and the type of people. It has a vibe to it.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi and all of that stuff. You sit down and get on the laptop. Yes, exactly. Yes. I've been in there. I like the lemon cake in there whenever I do go in there.
Okay, there you go. So you know, if you've been in there, you know the culture. If you meeting somebody, you may not even be chilling at Starbucks, but you say, yo, meet me at the Starbucks. Let's grab a coffee, or meet at Starbucks and we'll go to such and such. I do it all the time, several times a week. So they go in, right? Well, you already know. But the moral of the story is that is perfectly normal.
Yes, all right. I'm gonna be. This is how I see it. They shouldn't have got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
But if they wasn't buying no coffee and just went and sat down, I could see them saying, "If y'all don't purchase nothing, y'all have to leave."
No.
Why not?
That's not the culture.
But it's a business. Hold on.
Now, if you
understand.
Hours, how long are you talking with that?
No, I don't know how long. I don't know. It wasn't determined how long they was there.
No, and what you're saying you could see how they can ask. At what point?
I'm saying how if the Starbucks manager sees, and I'm not saying black, I'm saying two people. It could be two white people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Come and sit down at a Starbucks table, get on their phone,
mm-hmm.
and you might say, okay, they're using our free Wi-Fi, right?
Okay.
No, you can assume that.
Okay.
And they didn't buy anything.
Okay.
That's soliciting. Yes, it is. Look up the word. They can't do that. No, I understand the culture, but you have to understand one thing, right? When the law is involved, you have to go by the book. It's no more of the culture and this is what they do. You have to go by the rules once the law is involved.
Okay.
Because that's how the law is going to handle the case. Like a judge can only rule by the law, the letter of the law. Judges can't have opinion. That's why the Lady of Justice is blindfolded with a scale. Yeah, I'm not saying it's correct.
You're going to have to do that. If you do that, you're going to have to do it for everybody. That will mess up the whole culture.
I understand what you're saying.
Because everybody does it.
You're not understanding my point. I understand what you're saying, right? Mm-hmm. That's the culture, right? Some managers probably let that happen. But once a manager feels like they want to run their store by the letter of the law and they call the police, now by law, you cannot sit in Starbucks without buying no coffee.
Okay, so I got that, right?
I got that. Have been arrested. If you felt like you had to call the police,
they ask though?
Yes, they should have asked.
They should have asked, like, yo, y'all want to stay here?
Yes, they should have asked them first.
Okay.
They should have asked them, do y'all want anything?
Right. Which I don't know if they did or did.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to get into that.
Okay.
I'm saying that once the police was called, they shouldn't have got arrested. They should have just got escorted out. Or the police should have asked them, are y'all buying anything? If I was a cop, I'd have been like, just purchase a coffee and sit down. So that's what I'm trying to say, where it's a very thin line in this particular case, because they went and sat down and didn't purchase nothing. So by the letter of the law, I understand the culture, but by the letter of the law, in a brick and mortar place of business, you can't do that.
But if you go to a restaurant, if you and I go to a restaurant and we waiting for Joe to come, right?
We're going to sit at the bar and buy a drink.
But what if let's say it's at Denny's. Let's say we go to Denny's.
Will we sitting at the seats that's to wait for? Or you're in the restaurant?
Oh, see. All right, so you're going by
you can't say Denny's and Starbucks. Two different situations.
No, but if you're saying the letter by the law.
No, what I'm saying is Starbucks doesn't have a waiting system like Denny's because it's an eat-in restaurant. Starbucks has, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can go and wait at the waiting chair for somebody at Denny's. That's what that's for. But you can't go inside Denny's and wait for somebody to sit down. Because now you're taking up a table that somebody that might want to purchase something.
And again, you could do it, but if something goes down by the letter of the law.
The law.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's why I say it's sketchy, because, all right, black people will say, oh, there's two black people and they were wrong and all of that. But you got to go by the letter of the law. So in that situation, again, this is how we learn from it.
Now, would it be different if the managers did not ask them if they wanted to buy a coffee before they called the police? Does that change anything of what you with the letter of the law?
If the managers called the police, right? Maybe they were scared. I don't know. The police wasn't supposed to act the way they acted, because now they're handing the case over to the cops. Because once you call the police gonna tell you, don't say nothing to them. So now, whatever the reason why you're calling the police, you're feeling like something. For them to call the police, they felt alarmed. For what reason, I don't know. It could have racial biases to it. But at the end of the day, once the cops came, the cops should have said, are y'all going to purchase a coffee? If not, all right, y'all have to leave. A cop should never, they should serve and protect. If they were just sitting down there not harming anybody, it shouldn't be a situation where you come to arrest them. You just let them know. Like, hey, y'all can't just sit here like that. Y'all will have to go. Or y'all purchase some coffee. Why would a cop want to come do all this paperwork? You understand what I'm saying? When you could just told them the situation and went on your merry way. See, that's where the lines get blurred. You see what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, you want to put two black guys in jail. You see what I'm saying? But as far as the Starbucks itself, you got to go by the letter of the law, because it's a business. You know how much Starbucks rent costs? You see what I'm saying? It's a business aspect to it. Believe it or not, brother.
once you bring in the letter of the law, because that's like when we have these encounters every once in a while where somebody's doing their job too well. Like they take their job too serious, but they're right. But they should give you that, that flex. You want the flexibility, but if they break it down to the letter of the law, you'll be in the wrong.
Exactly. That's the point. That's it right there in a nutshell. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying once the law is called, that's where they're going with it, to the letter of the law. So if you have that sign outside your spot that says no soliciting.
Damn. I guess.
No, it's the truth. Yeah, it's the truth, brother. It's the truth.
He said, "Nah, don't guess." No, I'm telling you, it's the truth. It's
the truth. It's the truth. That's why. That's the power they have to call the police.
All right. Triston Thompson.
What about him?
You know what about him. I see you already. Yo, Triston is wildin', yo.
He's the first guy to get the Kardashians back.
Right.
So, what's right is right, is wrong is wrong. You don't have a pregnant wife. You don't have a pregnant wife. Nah. Again, this is what our culture has come to.
What has it come to?
To think that this is normal and this is okay.
He should know.
Again, like I said, to do the right thing. To do the right thing. You don't have a famous wife like that, and you don't be famous yourself, and you just in a hookah lounge kissing on women. You don't do that. So this is what I mean by when you do the wrong things happen to you.
Uh-huh.
You know? She's pregnant. She's about to have the baby. You don't do that. You don't do that. He's wrong. He's wrong. This is not in the realm of, they're Kardashians. This is the realm of being a good person. You know, everybody makes mistakes. I mean, he's a man. He's a man.
You know what? Unless that happened like a year or two ago and they just released it and someone did it, because I hear that happens a lot.
He would have said it though. They have spin teams, meaning that if something like that happens and it was old, he'd have been the first one to say, that was old, and she would have said it.
Yeah.
She would have been the first person to defend him. You see what I'm saying? Her history shows it. Look how much she defended Odom.
Oh my gosh.
So, she would have did it. You get what I'm saying?
Speaking of Odom, I hate to switch topics, but I'm pretty sure you've been to the Rucker before.
Of course. I'm from Harlem. I'm from Harlem.
I gotta ask you this question. Who is the nicest ball player to ever come to the Rucker?
To ever come to the Rucker?
Well, to ever play at the perform. Who had the best, the most legendary game at the Rucker in your opinion?
I was there when Kobe Bryant came.
Oh, see, that's who I saw it on TV. On TV.
Nah, I was there. The owner of the Rucker called me. Rest in peace, Greg Marius. That's my guy. He called me and said, "Your boy will be here in 15 minutes. Get up here now. It's jam-packed." I parked my car on the highway. Ran up there. I had half-court seats. Seen my boy Kobe. That was the illest game. He might not have had the best performance, but it was the illest game as far as the hype, the hoopla, the news was there. It was crazy.
What didn't he do where you would say it might not be the greatest performance?
No. It's just the fact that he just signed to Nike. Nike was there. They was trying to not let him play. He wasn't going that hard. It was this guy named the Prime Objective. The Prime Objective had 30. Kobe kept giving him a lot of alley-oops and stuff like that. He wasn't going that hard, but he went hard enough. He gave the people enough. I seen Baron Davis, Steve Smith up there kill, but the atmosphere wasn't like when Kobe came.
So was Kobe? Did Kobe? Because there's a, you know, is he a street baller? Can he ball street, or is he just?
Hell yeah!
Oh, okay, all right.
Kobe was mixing it up.
Okay.
Like, nah, he got busy. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, nah, that boy is he's official. He did what he came to do.
So he wasn't on his NBA. He let his thing down.
It started raining, right?
Uh-huh.
And all the people, they had people with earplugs in their ear. This how crazy it was. It was like Secret Service was up there. So anyway, it started raining. So they was telling him like, nah, you can't play no more. That's it. He was like, nah, I'm playing. He had on orange and white Uptowns. He had on orange and white Air Force Ones. And he kept playing while it was raining until it got too bad.
Who was guarding him?
Nobody. I don't care who it was. Nobody could guard him. Steve Francis came in the park, and the crowd went crazy. Kobe said, give him a shirt. He said, nah, my shoulder hurt. He ain't want no parts of Kobe. Kobe would have amped it up if Steve Francis would have played. Yeah. Kobe said, get that nigga a shirt. He ain't want no parts of that. He ain't want that smoke. And Steve Francis was killing in Rucker.
What about Steph Marbury?
Oh, Steph Marbury is a legend in Rucker.
Okay, all right.
He's a legend. He's a legend in Rucker.
LeBron never went up there, right?
LeBron went, but he didn't play. He was supposed to play in the championship with Jay-Z against Fat Joe.
Isn't Fat Joe got the best team? Is that true or no?
Fat Joe had one of the best teams, but when Fat Joe and them started coming up there, it was like he was bringing 5 NBA players. That's not considered the best teams. It was best teams when it was 55th players, like Skip to My Lou, Master Raw, The Future, Tip Dog. That's when Rucker was Rucker. Fat Joe and them kind of fucked Rucker up with that shit, bringing mad NBA players and all of that. Nah, it was when it was the real 55th stars. You understand what I'm saying? My man Poodle the Gangster. Who?
What's 55th stars?
The guys that played in 55th that was just from Harlem and from the Bronx and from Brooklyn that came up there and played, and they were superstars in Rucker. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't no NBA players. Like, they made Rucker pop. Like I said, it's a guy named Future. It's a guy named Master Rob, Tip Dog, Ali Mo, Rayford Austin, Kareem Reed, Poodle the Gangster, legends. You know what I mean? Mike Boogie. It was a lot of people.
When was the games? Like, was it like on a specific, like every Saturday or?
No, Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday, something like that. It was on.
It was popping Monday through Thursday.
Hell yeah. This shit was like a fucking block party every day. 55th was crazy. It might have been one NBA star that come up there for the whole season, but back then it was all 55th stars. Street ball legends. When Fat Joe came up there with Marbury, Ron Artest, they fucked the game up. That wasn't cool. Like,
yeah, I thought it was like once a week or something like that. I didn't.
No, every day. Master Rob and The Future is like the 2 most famous guys from 55th, like street ball legends of my era. That was like, they was stars.
What about Skip to My Lou was up there too?
Skip to My Lou is my favorite street ball player.
Yeah.
Skip to My Lou is a bad man. Rayford Austin. Me and Rayford Austin played biddies together and midgets and with a team called Young Life in Salem Church.
What's biddies and midgets?
Biddies is like 12 and under. Midgets is 14 and under.
And it was nice.
What? I used to play with Stephon Marbury too. Felipe Lopez. Nah, they was nice. Them little motherfuckers was bad. I'm talking about bad meaning good. They was there. We knew Stephon Marbury was going to the NBA when he was 12 years old. His brother Norman and all of them was super nice. But he was the one. Like, we knew he was going to the NBA when he was 12.
Yo, Steph was crazy.
Stephon was better than everybody at 12. Like, head and shoulders better than everybody. He probably, only person is this kid named Marquis from Harlem that he used to get in trouble a lot. He used to go to jail a lot. It was this kid named Marquis that probably was better than Steph. You know what I mean? Marquis was better than Steph, but he always went to jail. But Stephon and Rafa, I don't think it got no better than that. Those was the two best point guards I seen as a kid.
But Skip to My Luke came through the Rucker and worked his way to the NBA, right?
No. Skip to My Luke was bad. He went to Cardozo High School in Queens. Skip to My Luke was nice since he was young, too. Rafe Austin had that same name. He just started getting in trouble. So he went to Fresno State.
In Cali.
Yeah, he had to go to JUCO, then he went to Fresno State, but he got drafted just like that. And he signed like a $30, $40 million contract. Nah, Skip to My Luke came up through AAU too, just like Stephon Marbury. Nah, he was bad. They knew about him. He couldn't be stopped. Like, he was like that ever since he was little. He didn't come up through Rucker. No. He was nice way before Rucker. My man Javal, he was another one that was nice like that. He went to jail a couple times. You know what I mean? It was a lot of ballers that got in trouble that was just as good as them. Cameron, me and Cameron we played basketball together when we was little.
Cameron's nice, right?
Cameron was dumb nice. Yeah, Cam was dumb nice.
Jim Jones can't ball though.
Jim Jones was he played ball. He wasn't like on that Cameron level. Mace was okay. Mace could play.
Cameron, yeah. Who was better, Cam or Mace?
Mace wasn't nice like Cam, but Mace could play though.
Cam was the nicest.
Now Cam went to college. Cam was nice. Cam was nice. Like it's my man Odie and Nate. These two brothers that was dumb nice too. It was a lot of us. Like for real. I could go on name. Puerto Rican Joey. It was a lot. It was a lot of us that played ball and could have made it if we had that backing and that structure.
New York had all for why. They're not. It's not like that right now though.
Nah, it's not like that now. Nah, it was a
New
dude.
York lost it.
It was a dude named Scientific Matt. He had a brother named Majestic Matt. It was Steve McDowell. It was it was so many nice niggas, man. Dowell Parson. I could go on and name for days. Like that basketball shit, when I was coming up, everybody could play. Or Adrian Autry, Red. He went to St. John's. It was a lot. Like now.
St. John's, yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
St. Anthony's too. You ever been to St. Anthony? Yeah, St. Anthony.
Yeah. St. Anthony's, Christ the King, All Hallows, Aquinas. It used to be mad. I know about that whole AAU thing from my era. I know all the players. It was serious in New York when we was coming up. It was a abundance of talent.
All right. So I want to keep it on basketball, but I will wrap it up. I want to get 3 books that you could recommend for us to read. We was talking NBA earlier. I think you told me who your prediction is for who you got winning the chip. But I want to resurface now that we're in the playoffs right now. Who's winning the championship this year?
Golden State Warriors.
Golden State winning?
Yep.
And who they versing?
Toronto Raptors.
Oh, you crazy. Nah. I got Sixers. I got them Sixers versus Golden State. Golden State winning it.
I think the pressure going to get too high for the Sixers once they go against Toronto. This is Toronto, yeah.
So you got Toronto going to the finals?
Yeah. It could be the Sixers, but I think Toronto.
You trust them?
I don't. But in the East, I think they're going to come out the East. I think LeBron and them going to get smacked.
By who? Toronto?
If they win this round, they just lost today.
Oh, they did lose.
Yeah. And this going to be a tough series. They're going to get out of this round, but they're going to be tough. And then they might play who they going to play? Boston? Or is they going to play? I don't know.
Boston won yesterday or today.
They're going to play somebody that's going to be even tougher. By the time they get to Philly or Toronto, they're going to be beat up or LeBron going to be tired.
If LeBron lose this, if LeBron don't make it to the finals, does that taint his legacy? No.
He's been there 7 straight times. I mean, his legacy is what it is. He's never going to be Jordan. That boat sailed. He's never going to be Jordan. I don't care if he win 3 more and get 6. He's still never going to be Jordan. He lost 5 times.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. Like, come on now. That's no. It's always a built-in excuse with him. The only excuse is he's not Jordan. That's it.
A lot of people forget about how good Pippen was. Yo, you remember Slam magazine back in the day? It was like really big. Mm-hmm. You remember Slam? They used to have the dunk of the, I forget. It was like they had this pull-up.
Dunk of the month.
Dunk of the month, and but they did this article. I can't find it, but I remember there was this big debate at one point. Who was the best all-around player? Of course, there was Jordan. But there was a big debate who was the best all-around player ever. And I remember it was at the point it was Penny Hardaway and it was Scottie Pippen. Do you remember that or no? That debate in sports?
I remember that debate, but I would go with Scottie Pippen.
But my punchline was, do you think LeBron James is better than Pippen?
Yeah.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's better than Pippen. He's better than Pippen. But when you look at the all-around player right now, you got to put Russell Westbrook in there.
Russell Westbrook?
He's averaging a triple-double 2 years in a row. That's all-around. That's all-around play. I didn't say the best. I'm saying he's up there. Listen, he's up there as in the top all-around players ever. Yes, he is. He averaged a triple-double. That haven't happened in 50 years. He did it 2 years in a row.
But he don't got no defense.
All around. Yes, he do got defense. Russell Westbrook could play D.
I don't be seeing him play D.
He averaged 2 steals a game. He plays D. He's an all-around player. Even if you take away defense, he still does. That's all right. It's 4 facets to the game: defense, offense, rebounding, and assists. If he's doing 3 out of 4, that means he's an all-around player.
So you think Russell Westbrook's a better all-around player than LeBron James?
I didn't say better. I said he's up in the top echelon.
Okay.
It's Russell. If you say right now, who's the top all-around players? Mm-hmm. Right now, you might have to say Russell Westbrook. The reason why you're going to say LeBron, because his translates to better victories.
No, he's just a better all-around player.
Yeah, but I'm talking about statistically he's not. But translating to wins, he is. LeBron has a higher IQ than Russell Westbrook. Right. If Russell Westbrook had a high IQ, he'd be the best player in the league.
Do you think he'll ever get it?
That's debatable.
Because LeBron didn't always have it.
Exactly. Kobe didn't always have it.
Yeah. If Russell get it,
He would be the best player in the league.
Yeah, he would if he get it.
If he had a high IQ, meaning where when to pass, when to shoot, when to let up. You see
that kid's a monster.
Nah, he's a monster, but IQ means something. You got to be smart.
So who else is some good all-around players right now?
Antetokounmpo from Milwaukee. They got him playing point guard. He's 7 feet.
We're going to have to see about him.
Yeah.
Okay. I give you him, though. Anthony Davis.
And, of course, Anthony Davis. Kevin Durant.
Okay, yeah, Kevin Durant.
I'm going to say Joel Embiid.
Yeah, okay.
He's just young, but he's going to translate into that.
I like him, man.
I like him too. That boy bad. Joel Embiid is going to be that type of player. He's not there yet, but I'm just saying I see his ceiling is going to be like that type of player. He's going to be good defensively. Because he can hit the three. He can post up. For a big man, he's a good all-around player. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. All right, so did you feel a certain way when Kevin Durant went to the Warriors?
No, I knew he was going to come.
No, but did you feel like some people say like, oh, that's crazy that he would win, that's stacking the deck?
If I was him, I would have did the same thing.
All right.
And the reason why I said that was because this is LeBron James NBA. This is the narrative he created. So our only way I could win is if I go with the consensus, then that's what I have to do.
So how many championships do the Warriors have to win for this to – the Warriors as constructed right now, how many championships do they have to win for you to say, all right, I can see why it was worth it for them to do that?
I mean, if they win this year, right?
Uh-huh.
That's 3 out of 4.
Okay. Well, starting with KD, because that's 1.
No, they started winning before KD.
But
you said the Warriors.
KD,
but you said, all right,
I meant
with KD, if they win 2 in a row, if they win 3 in a row.
Oh, you'll be like, oh, it was worth it?
If KD leave, if they don't win this year, right?
Uh-huh.
And he leaves, he got a ring. That's what he came there for.
Okay.
So my thing is, if they win it this year, right? Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Steph, they would have got 3 rings in 4 years. They did what they were supposed to do. Now, if Kevin Durant come and in 2 years out of 2 years get 2 rings, and he decide he want to go to the Lakers or something, he did what he had to do. See, what people don't understand is you could be as nice as you want. That shit got to translate to championships.
Yeah.
Or you really ain't that nice.
So
why you think, hold up, why you think they don't talk about Wilt Chamberlain like that?
Yeah.
You know, if Wilt Chamberlain would have had 6 rings, it would have been no debate he was the best player. No debate. They saying, how you that big and strong, scoring 100, but you can't win?
Steph Curry.
What about him?
How good is he?
He's real good. That boy is amazing. He changed the game. He's a transcendent player. Like, you know how hard it is to change the NBA landscape?
But why won't you put him as the best player in the NBA?
Because of his size. If you still put a mobile 6'8" person on him, that'll shut him down. Like when LeBron James shut him down.
When did he shut him down?
The first 2 championships.
The
only time Steph Curry got off is when KD was there.
Yeah, that's true.
KD and LeBron, and Antetokounmpo and Anthony Davis, those is the type of players that the new NBA have, meaning where you got to be so tall and big that nobody could guard you. On the perimeter, on the post, anything. You see how LeBron couldn't do that to KD.
Mm-hmm.
We watched him do it to Derrick Rose. We watched him do it to dude in Toronto. We watched him do it to Steph Curry. But now when there's a dude 7 feet, 6'11" with that shake and bake, he can do it.
You know about Zion?
Zion Williamson, yeah, he's going to do it.
Yeah. What you think about him? You think he's the real deal?
He's going to have to develop a jump shot. He's going to be okay, but in the NBA, you got to have that mobility to get to the basket, like what he does. He's very athletic. He reminds me of like Blake Griffin. Yes, I'm talking about not when I say reminds me of Blake Griffin is the things he can do on the court.
Okay.
They don't have to look like Blake Griffin. They have the same similar skill set.
So
Blake Griffin got a little set short jumper now, but when he first came into the league, he was just a flyer.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
All he could do is athletically get to that rim.
He used to dunk some crazy
That's
stuff.
what Zion Williamson is.
Yeah.
He's just left-handed, so it looks different. But they still have the same skill set. So he's going to have to develop.
And I think Duke was the right place for him to develop, too. I think so.
It all depends. It depends on his – could be checking out. It all depends on his commitment to excellence. See, you got to understand something. I told you this in our first podcast, like when I was talking about Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony doesn't have a commitment to excellence. He's the same player he was in Syracuse that he is today. He didn't get better ever.
Damn, that's true.
So
you didn't say it like that the first time, though.
Yes, I did. You got to listen to it.
You condensed it just now. You just said that in distance.
Right.
Yeah,
right. But like you got to look at it. Kobe Bryant had a commitment to excellence. Even LeBron James, Michael Jordan. I'm gonna give you a name out there. The guy from Portland,
Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard. He gets better every year.
He does.
When you go to the summertime and say, damn, my jump shot is not where I need it to be, and you come back in October, November, and your jump shot is hitting, that tells me what you did in the summer. Melo Melo is a victim of his own fame. And what I mean by that is he was so nice, so young, that he felt like he couldn't get no better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say he didn't have a commitment to excellence, because you got to know you're not excellent because you're not winning.
Yeah.
And then the hunger for more kicks in. Like, damn, what do I have to do to win?
I thought he was nicer than LeBron when he first came in, to be honest.
He was.
Yeah.
But LeBron's commitment to excellence surpassed him. You got to understand something, right? It's different forms of selling out. You know you can sell out to actually do good, too. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is LeBron James sold out to win. You see what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. He gave it his all. He went back to, even if he had to cheat the game.
Yep.
That's how bad he wanted to win. So the point I'm trying to make about Zion Williamson is it all determines on his commitment to excellence. The ability is there. The athleticism is there. The potential is there. Now it's what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. We can see Melo don't put nothing into it. That's why he ain't got nothing out of it.
That's true.
Kobe was so mad at Shaq because he felt like, yo, we could run the table for 8 years if you just work out in the summer. Shaq had too much other things going on, which could have been his fault, couldn't have been his fault. When Shaq finished playing basketball in the summertime, he got movies, he got a million businesses. He's making so much money that he had to pay attention to that too. Kobe was just consumed with basketball. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, Shaq got 3 rings, 4 rings. He was content. Once he got the rings, he didn't care.
Shaq could have got 8 too.
He could have got 8. This is what I'm trying to say. So that's when your commitment to excellence is going to determine what type of person or player you are. And that's not even in basketball. That's in everything. Business, that's in everything. That's like what we doing, right? Our commitment to this shit is going to determine how far we go with it. You see what I'm saying?
Fact.
And we have
a universal law. That is.
Right. We're in the infant stage, but at the end of the day, it still applies to everything. Just like what we was talking about with domestic violence, with a marriage, all of that plays a part in life. How committed you are to having a successful anything, marriage, relationship, business, parenting, everything. That all falls under that. What is your commitment to excellence? And that tells the story on people. You see what I'm saying? Children who get full scholarships for academics are committed to excellence, and the schools and the teachers see it, and they give them that. The ones that doesn't, that don't mean they're stupid. That means they're not committed like the other ones are to academic excellence. And that's what they get out of it, because that's what they put in it. A free college. I want you to come to my college because you're so committed to academics that I want your name on my college wall. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how
you gotta take a concept and make it broad and make it it's almost like a law, or like a it's like you live based off principle and law.
I have to. Everything is like I said.
Because you could take one thing, like I may know this one thing, but I'll only use it in this one thing. But you showed me just through conversing is that you could take this one thing can actually
and apply it to other things
in other areas too. Yeah.
Exactly, because you have to understand something, right? If not one thing is based off of just that. Mm-hmm. You see, remember when Michael Jordan said, I needed things to fuel me. So that was other things, because he was already so good. So now, if you just said, oh, you ain't hitting the jumper today, he used that as, all right, now I got to go out there and hit 50 jumpers on you. He used other things and put it into that realm of competitiveness.
Okay, so give us 3 books that we must read. Give us 3 books that we should have in our library.
Right now, what's the I got this book called it's I told you I was reading the Melvin Little book, right?
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the actual name. I gotta go upstairs.
You give us any 3. You give any 3 books.
Okay, it's another one called Lucky. So it's the Brian Glaze Gibbs story. Now these are actually hood books right now that I'm on.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm reading my hood books right now. So it's the Brian Glaze Gibbs story. I think it's called The Unlucky Truth. I have to look it up. I'm gonna have to actually give you the titles, because right now I can't remember them. But it's the Melvin Little story, the Brian Glaze Gibbs story, and I actually read the Infinity Gauntlet. It's a comic book, but they put them all into one book.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Thanos, the guy that's coming out on the new Marvel movie.
Okay.
It's like one of the top comics in the ever. So if you like comics, if you read, because it's in a book, so it's all of the chapters in one book. I would tell people to read that. It's actually a good comic.
All right.
It's called Infinity Gauntlet. But I have, I like to switch it up. I don't read just one type of book. And now I really like to read. I like audio books.
Oh, you do like audiobooks?
Yeah, I do like audiobooks. So I'm in the car, I listen to them and stuff like that. Because I really don't be having too much time to sit down and read anymore.
That's what's up. I got to get into these audio, but I still like the paper.
The audio book for me, I could look at it vividly. It's like when they saying it to me, I can imagine it. But everybody's not into audio books, but some people are, and some people don't like reading. So I tell people, if you don't like to read, get the audio book. You're gonna get the same knowledge out of it. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely tell people to read audiobooks now. Well, listen to audiobooks. Because you got to understand something. A lot of people can't read and don't read, but that's where all the knowledge is at. So for me to tell them to listen to audiobooks now, is still them getting the knowledge. You see what I'm saying?
Once again, you took the principle and you spread it out. It's like, yo, you get the book. If you don't want to read a book, fine. We got another way you can still get the information.
Exactly. Because
there's no reason to not get your knowledge.
See, in today's day, right, especially with our children, we're using the technology wrong. These are smartphones, but a lot of people is doing dumb things with them. The internet, it's really a learning tool for information that's processed fast. So if you're using it correctly, you should have an abundance of knowledge. It's not for just applications and Instagram and Twitter and all of that stuff like that. No, this internet and this technology that we have today in our hands is so rich in things. Like you can actually buy a house that has nothing in it and go on YouTube and fix your whole house up without even hiring a contractor. If you want to learn how to write a screenplay, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, some people don't even turn on their computer if they're not online. Like if they don't have the internet or Wi-Fi, they don't even use their computer, and that's ridiculous.
This is what I'm trying to say. So
crazy.
At the end of the day, we have to understand that the times are changing, but you have to change with the times. Like me and my wife, right? We was just talking to my youngest daughter. We was telling her all the things that we had when we was little that she doesn't even know nothing about. Like she wants a typewriter now because we was telling her like we had to type our work. We had a house phone. We didn't have remote controls and flat screens and just all the stuff that they got. Like they in the 21st century, we come from the 20th century.
Payphones.
We were telling them we didn't have cell phones. When we was 9 years old, we didn't have our own cell phone.
Nah. You
see what I'm saying? We didn't have a tablet or a laptop and all. We had to type. We had to go to the store, like how we was telling her, like, we didn't have a TV in our room. We all sat and watched the Cosby Show together.
One room.
You know what I mean? Remember you had to get up and turn the cable box?
Uh-huh.
There wasn't no remote. So
that was a tough duty. The person that had to get up and go change it or turn the volume up.
That's my point. So at the end of the day, if we use the technology for what it's really made for, it should be less people with little knowledge, because you can actually go on. Just like remember when I brought up King Mansa Musa to you, right?
Uh-huh.
back in the days, if I had said King Mansa Musa to you, you would have had to go to the library, go look for a book, and read on them for two or 3 days. Now, when you hang up the phone with me, you can Google King Mansa Musa and realize, oh my God, this was the richest black man ever in the world. In 5 minutes, you can know everything that back in the days would have took you 3 days. That's technology we have, but what are we using it for? Instagram or to learn things?
That's funny.
But that's what you have to install in your children. And that's where it starts from. Again, like I was telling you earlier, the things you teach your children young is the things they're going to apply to their life once they get on their own. So, like I was saying, if you're teaching a child to be abusive,
I think you did say that. You said you're already preparing your children for when you die now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're teaching your child to be abusive or they're just seeing it, 9 times out of 10, they're going to grow up to be an abusive person.
And 10 times worse.
10 times worse. Because time is going to change with them. Yeah. Like this is why our children are way more advanced than us. Because of technology and the time changes. We have an old school way about us, but our children have a new school way about them. You see what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. They have the internet and we had skateboards. They got those hoverboards. You see what I'm saying? Back then, but our parents had some 10 times worse too. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. I remember my grandfather used to tell me, man, a car used to cost $2,300. That's how much a brand new Ford cost, $2,300. Rent was $9. In Harlem, in the 50s and 60s, rent was $9. Where do you think you're going to live at for $9 today? Not even a cardboard. So that's the thing. We have to adapt to the change, but not conform to it. You know? And that's just the reality of it, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is another great conversation with the great one over there, Harlem's own T-Money the Icon. This is Nothing's Off Limits. Make sure to check him out on Instagram. You didn't get on Facebook yet.
Nah, I tell you, my Facebook is personal. For me, Facebook is not a social. I don't use it as a social tool. It's for my family and friends. I don't even want people that don't know me following me on Facebook.
Okay.
So that's a private, personal thing for me.
All right, so check him out on Instagram. We need to figure out a way to get maybe once every quarter or something. We got to do something live. And the reason why I'm saying
what we could do is start a Nothing's Off Limits page on Facebook, and I could use it for that. There's always a way, brother.
Okay, yeah.
I'll figure it out.
And we'll do it we'll figure out a way to do it maybe once a quarter or something.
I can go on live there anytime if that's what I'm using the page for. But I'm just going to be on my personal page where other people could just contact me like that.
Okay, yeah, we'll set it up and we'll do it like once a quarter as we form this, and we're trying to give people an opportunity to just chime in with us right there on the spot. Right. I think that'd be really
that's good. Cool. I like that idea. I'm with it.
But for now, guys, go check him out. Go follow him. Like I keep telling you guys, many of you are trying to take vacations away from social media. But I'm telling you, it's your timeline. It's the people that you're following. You have to connect with people that will inspire you, people that will encourage you, the people that will give you an example of what you could be if you like what he was talking about earlier, just putting in the work, make that commitment to excellence, right? So his Instagram handle, we always put it in the show notes, but it's at T-Money the Icon. That's TMONEYTHEICON. And you guys could check me out. Follow me on Instagram, Billionaire Brown Online. This is Nothing's Off Limits. Till next time, continue to be.